Hey guys, today we're going to be reviewing using a Cisco Meraki Power over Ethernet Injector to go from a Meraki MX67C, which has no PoE ports, to the injector, and then to power an Meraki MG21 cellular gateway. So as you can see here, it's a Cisco Meraki 802.3AT Power over Ethernet Injector. It's nice and rugged, as you would expect from a Cisco or a Meraki device. It has nice mounts here, so you can use a couple screws and attach it right to the wall. Unlike some other Meraki equipment, I noticed that it didn't come with any screws, but somebody that's installing this should of course have a couple extra screws laying around. You can also use cable ties depending on where you're placing it. But yeah, it's nice and rugged. You might have seen these injectors on Amazon. They typically run $20 to $30 depending on the model. They work fine for home use. As you can tell, you can't really mount it, so I had to use double-sided tape. And it worked fine for years, but this is just a lot more rugged for an office environment or an enterprise environment. You want to stick with the actual Meraki or Cisco part. Another thing I found is these cheaper ones, they tend to get warm depending on where you're placing it. So I had mine in a small wiring closet, so it got quite warm. It never failed, but it's just these are a little more rugged, made for that little extra heat. Not an industrial environment, of course, but they work very well. So here you have the Meraki MX67C. In the GUI, you can change so I'm talking the actual Meraki portal. It used to be you had to change this within the actual local GUI, the web page that you go to, but now you can do it from the main Meraki portal. You can convert port 2 to Internet 2 or WAN 2. So in this case, we'd, for example, use a broadband connection for the primary, and then we use the MG21 gateway for backup. So in this case, let's just say that this is inside a cabinet, or maybe the IT closet that it's in doesn't have good cellular coverage. As you might know already, the 67C has the built-in cellular backup. But this just gives you a little more flexibility. You can place the MG21 wherever you need to, wherever there's better cell coverage. It also allows you to use the MG21 or a cellular connection as a primary if you need to for maybe a rapid deploy scenario, or a scenario where you want traffic to actively use both broadband and cellular for some reason. So this just gives you another option. But mainly it's you use the MG21 when there's not good cell coverage where you're placing the 67C. But in any case, so we go into the Meraki portal, we convert port 2 to Internet 2 or WAN 2. We run an Ethernet cable from port 2 over to right here. You see data in, or data. And then we're going to go data / power out. We're going to run an Ethernet cable over to the PoE enabled port on the MG21 cellular gateway. So the nice thing about this, again, maybe you don't have good cell coverage where the 67C is going, but now you have the ability to run 100 meters, 300 feet of Ethernet cable if you needed to this PoE injector, and then another 300 feet or 100 meters of Ethernet cable over to the cellular gateway. So you can place this well outside where this might be placed, maybe up front near a window or up in a raised ceiling, for example. You got a lot of flexibility. So once it's all wired, it's very simple. Just make sure this port's enabled, of course, ready to go. Make sure your SIM card's already installed in the MG21 gateway. And then you simply connect this. Connect your AC in. And then in a few minutes here, you'll see this light comes on. and then you look at your MG21 gateway, and you notice the power indicator LED came on. So it has power. And in this case, the MG21 is not fully configured in the portal, so it's not going to come fully online. But just for an example, it has power in a normal environment. This would be good to go once it downloads its config. One other thing I wanted to note here is that you'll notice this Waze box. I picked up a few of these around Christmas time to control the Christmas tree and some other lights in the house. These are really nice. I got these particular ones at Home Depot. They're on sale. I think it was $18 for two. Very, very simple Wi-Fi controlled on-off switch. You can integrate it with Google Home, Amazon, whatever flavor of smart home you're using. But I just simply use the app in this case, the actual Waze app. And what this allows you to do is, assuming there's some kind of connectivity, Wi-Fi connectivity up and running, and internet connectivity. So in this case, I'll just break it right down. Let's say the broadband was working fine. Your MX67C was up and online. Your access point, which is not shown here, but your access point is up and running just fine. Everything's good to go. But let's say the cellular connection, the MG21 gateway, is giving you problems. What you could do is, because you have some form of internet and some form of Wi-Fi up and running, you can use the app, the phone app, to turn this off. So I'll just do it manually here, but imagine you're in the app, you tell the switch to turn off. So this smart switch just went off. You'll notice the PoE injector went off, and my MG21's off. So now you have the ability, as long as you have some form of cellular backup or broadband or some other form of internet connectivity and basic Wi-Fi, you have the ability to basically reboot devices remotely now. Very cost effective. You look at a smart UPS, smart PDU, you're looking at hundreds of dollars, where this very simple, easy to use solution, it's not for everybody, of course. It's not really a ruggedized unit, but maybe in a retail environment, let's say, or especially home use, small office, I've found these to be pretty reliable. No issues so far. The one example that I have set up in my main lab is a Meraki MX68CW with the SIM card for backup. So what that allows you to do is it's got built-in Wi-Fi and built-in cellular backup. So there's very little chance of losing internet connectivity completely and Wi-Fi completely. So what you could do is set up your 68CW with maybe a separate SSID that's only broadcast out of the 68CW, not your regular access points. You could have the smart plug connect just to that one SSID set up in the 68CW. So now you have full redundancy. If your broadband goes down, you fail the built-in backup. If your access points, or maybe you want to use it to reboot your access points, your normal access points, regular users can keep using them, but you just have that one SSID in the 68CW to control these remotely. So in worst case scenario, internet down, access points down, you can still turn the switch on and off. The other good use case for that is if your broadband goes down, right? This gives you the ability, you plug your cable modem into this, and now through the cellular backup and through the built-in Wi-Fi of the 68CW, you can reboot your cable modem. Maybe before you open a ticket with your broadband provider or try any kind of troubleshooting, you just simply reboot. So like I said, there is integration possible with Google and Amazon and some other smart home hubs. This particular one, I haven't found any kind of API integration or anything, but I'm sure there's ones out there. Or maybe if you were to utilize Google Home or Amazon, you could figure out how to integrate that possibly with maybe your your main monitoring system. But in my case, just using the regular Waze app to turn on and off works perfectly fine. Like I said, I got the 68CW, not shown here, but the 68CW in the main lab with a Raspberry Pi and a FortiGate firewall. All those extra accessories, like the Raspberry Pi, are plugged into one of these. So remotely, I can turn everything on and off. But yep, just wanted to show you two main things. So you got the Cisco PoE Injector, very straightforward, to power up your MG21 or an access point. And then just one other thing to think about, these cheap and expensive smart switches to possibly reboot your cable modem, reboot these injectors. A lot of different options for that. Any questions, comment below. Thanks for watching.